Welcome back, guys. In this video, we are going to learn variables in Python. So in Python is a popular and versatile programming language that can be used for both testing and development purpose. So Python is a more popular in these days because Python has a simple syntax similar to the English language and allows the developer or tester to write a program with fewer lines than some other programming language. So now let us understand what is a variable in Python. In Python, variable is a reserved memory location to store the value. For example, if I want to store some value, for example, if I want to store some, I want to store name of the customer. So I can say name. So variable is now this is a variable. So a variable is created at the moment. First, what we have to do, we need to assign a value to it. For example, you can say name equal to, you can give any name. And this is the way we have to declare a variable and assign a value to it, right? So if suppose I want to store age of the customer, so you can say age equal to 20, right? When you are defining a variable, there is a couple of rules that you should probably follow. So in Python, variable names can contain letters. So letters means you can say A to Z, that is a lowercase, and we can say uppercase as well. And we can say 0 to 9, that is number as well. And we can say underscore as well, right? So variable name can contain letters, both a lowercase and uppercase, and numbers and underscore as well, right? So you can give any variable name. For example, you can give A or B or X or Y, something you can give a variable name. And the most important thing here is to make sure variable name is a readable and meaningful one, because if you come back to this code after some time, right? If you are assigning something like a equal to 100 or B equal to 200, right? So now this A and B is not going to have a lot of meaning to you, right? So try to make sure that it actually makes a sense to you, right? So you can actually have a multiple words in the name of your variable. So for example, if you wanted to call this name, right? So if you want to call this name as a customer name, something like this. So this is the way you can go and create a variable. I mean, you can add a multiple words. If you want to call this name as a customer name, you can add in this way. If you want to separate this name, right? Then what we can do? We can add an underscore in between, right? So now you can able to see customer name in this way, right? With the underscore. But you cannot have a space in between, right? Customer name in this way, it should not be. It's going to generate you the syntax error. So name of the variable has to be one single unit, right? In order to separate the word in Python, you can make it as an underscore, right? We use the underscore. Next, what we have to understand, we can add a number also in the variable, right? So we can add a lowercase or uppercase, whatever it is, and numbers also. Underscore we have seen. Numbers means, suppose you can say customer 1. In this way, you can able to add, right? So suppose you can say customer 2. In between, if you want to add an underscore, you can add an underscore, customer 1, customer 2. In this way, you can add, right? But they cannot start with the number, right? So you need to understand. So it should not be something in this way, right? We cannot make it as a 1 customer or 2 customer. So then it will going to generate a syntax error only, right? You want to use the numbers in the name of your variable, you can go with the, in finally you can add, right? It should not start with the number, right? They cannot start with the number in a Python variable. So this is also you have to understand. Next thing is variable names are case sensitive, meaning that, so now I have written a customer name. So now suppose if I am trying to add a customer name with the caps, right? So now these two is this customer name and here this customer names are two different variable, right? Because this is a variable is a case sensitive. So same way, we have to make sure not to use the built-in function, right? Built-in function means print is a built-in function, input is a built-in function. So we here print and input function is a, right? These functions not to use them, as a name of your variable. If you use that, it will not going to throw any syntax error, but it makes it very confusing, right? So try to make sure that all the names of your variable should be readable and meaningful one. And and one more thing we have to remember, avoid using the reserved keyword. Reserved keyword as a variable name. In Python, we have some reserved keywords are there. For example, if is a reserved keyword and else is a reserved keyword and while is the reserved keyword. So a lot of reserved keyword is there. So we have to, these are the things you have to remember. I mean, when you are defining a variable, reserved keywords also we are not going to use as a variable name. Right? These are the things you have to remember while declaring a variable in Python. So, fine. So now let us understand every value in a Python has a data type. Right? Different data different types of variables are there. So in Python, there are different types of variables. Some of the most common variables types is, we can say integers, and we can say floats. Then we have a strings. Then we have a boolean. Then we have a tuples is there. Then we have a list. Right? So best features of Python is it's a flexibility. While handling a various data types, so we no need to define the variable type. So for example, if you take a Java, in Java, right? So what happened when you are trying to store some value? So you need to define the data type as well. It could be, int or string, float, double, whatever it is. So you need to define the data type. Meaning that suppose if you want to store a age of the customer, so you have to define that what is the data type. In actually, age is a numeric value, so you need to define a data type age equal to something in this way. So this is the way we need to go with the Java, right? But here in Python, suppose if you want to store value x equal to 100, right? So now I will just open my PyCharm and I'll show you how we can write. So x equal to 100. Suppose if I want to print this, so simply you can say x, right? So now this is the way we have to call the print the variable. So you can print this. See now this value is getting printed, right? So now it's printed in this here in the console, right? So whatever if you want to print, you can directly say print and add your message into the given parenthesis, right? So if I want to change the value of a x, for example, x equal to 400. Now I am trying to print the x again. So what value it is going to print? So now let me run again and I'll show you that. See now, first print it is printing that 100. So next time we are assigning a value is a 400. Now it is printing 400. So now we'll see what is the, if I want to know what is the data type of this x variable, right? I want to know what is the data type of x variable. So if you want to know that, you can say print type of what you want to know x. So this x variable data type, if you want to know, you just print and you can say run this. You will be getting an integer because this is what you are assigning a value. As per the value, it is going to return you the data type as well. Right? This is what it is returning an integer. Suppose now I can say in Python, right? No need to fix the value with the x variable, right? We can change the different value as well, right? Same way, no need to fix the data type. The data type means we can, now we are changing the values. Now if you want to change the data type, now here it is a x is a integer. Now I want to change the data type. For example, x equal to, I am saying learning Python. So I am just adding a value is a string. Right. So now this is more flexibility is there, right? In Python, that is standard variable assignment. I hope this is clear. I'll try to print this. So now I'm trying to print this x value now. So let me run this. We'll see it's printing a learning Python. Now I'm trying to get the type of this x. So now let me run this and I'll show you that. See now this value, I mean X data type is a string because what value we are assigning based on the variable, I mean the value, it is going to assign a data type as well. So that's what it is going to return you. Right? This is the way we need to understand. That is more flexibility in Python. Right? But in Java and all, we need to define the data type. What are the value we are going to assign? Based on that, we need to define a data type. But here in Python, it is a flexibility. So I hope this is clear. Now we can assign a value in a different way. Suppose now here we are assigning only one value, right? So now suppose suppose I just wanted to assign x equal to 300 and y also I just wanted to store 300. Z also I want to store 300. So now instead of defining a variable and a value to this, instead of doing this, we can do quick assignment in the couple of variables. So now how we have to assign, can say x equal to y equal to z equal to, you can say 200. Right? So now let me print this. Let me print x, y and z. So let me print and let me run this. We'll see now it's printing the value of x, y and z. So we are not declaring a variable something this way. Right? We have in this quick way we can assign a couple of variable in a single line. Right? All of those variable name is pointed to the same value. So that's where it is printed a same value to the all the variable. Right? This is called chained assignment in Python. So maybe you can ask, can I store different value? Yes. Suppose if you want to assign different value, we can assign a different value in a different variable, right? In a single line. For example, x, I can say y and z equal to, we can give 100, 200 and 300. So now if I want to print x, y, z, okay, I will just copy this. So now let me run this. See now here finally we have assigned 100, 200, 300 for x, y, z. So it's getting printed. So this is called multiple assignment. Right? So I hope this is clear. Thank you for watching this video.